Welcome. And it's RenderATL live virtually with all of our amazing friends here in the RenderATL universe. I'm Brianna. I lead marketing here at RenderATL, and I have Aditya, who is the DevRel lead at Appwrite with me. Hello and good evening to you.
Hello. I'm so excited to join you today. And yeah, can't wait for RenderATL to happen.
It's going to be a good time. So for all the people who are joining us, please introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi once again. It's evening here for me right now, so it's much easier for me to say good night or good evening than good morning. I'll always go haywire when time zones come in between all of us. But I'm Aditya. I currently lead the developer relations team here at Appwrite. I've been a part of different tech and hackathon communities for the last, let me see, I think the last 7 years or so now. So I just love working with developers, with people from all around the world, and I'm really excited to be joining you all right now.
I love that. I know it's always like, how long have I been doing this? I can't remember. But that being said, you have built communities all over the world. What do you think is something about developer communities that seems to be true no matter where you are?
That's such a good question. And honestly, the whenever I think about something consistent with every community in the world, it's that people love merch and swag. I still enjoy getting these stickers and t-shirts and hoodies, and I think people love that. And I think that's such a wonderful thing, right? Where um, every community comes in with something wonderful, whether that's knowledge, whether that's a shared purpose, a shared goal. Um, we always find something to bond over, right? Sometimes that's cute art on these stickers. Sometimes that's going to be these common problems we're trying to solve, and all of these just form the ethos of any community there is right now.
That's valid. I think, especially number one, everyone always loves good swag. I am guilty of that. I'm very guilty. I'm like, ooh, what's over there?
I was just thinking about this earlier. I saw that you had the talk jacket on right now, and I remembered the
little clickers.
Yes,
I think I have one in my desk. Probably, I'm like looking. I'm like 90% sure I have. There's somewhere. They're at least in my book bag or something. Because we have everything like just casually around. I have like my stickers just like casually sitting in my desk.
I've got all of these as well, just somewhere or the other. That's what I illustrate where I've got all of this swag,
Oh my goodness. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, what do I do with all of this? Because I know I want certain stuff. I'm like, I really want this, but I'm not going to use this. Please don't give it to me. And then sometimes they're like, no, take it. I'm like, oh, if you insist, I guess I have to. But swag definitely makes people stay for the conversation a little bit more, especially when you're talking to so many people. They're like, oh, you have a little fidget? Thank you. That being said, when it comes to being around a lot of people, everyone has their own different taste. People like different swag. People like different ways to contribute. And a lot of people want to contribute on open source, but they never really take that first step. What do you think is some advice that you can give to someone who's been lurking on GitHub for years, but hasn't made their first contribution yet?
Great question there. Honestly, I think open source is such an interesting area, right? It's one of the most diverse communities around right now, where people of you're going to discover people with quite a vast range of knowledge bases, skill sets. One day I spend time working with someone who's just entering college. There's another day where you end up working with someone who's double your age. I mean, they've got more experience than longer than you've been alive, and it's so fascinating to be able to do that. I think when it comes to contributing, the first part of being a great contributor is being a great user. And so when someone asks me how they can get started as a contributor to an open source project, my first advice is always to just start using a project. The more you use one of these projects, the more you're able to implement them in your workflows, in your ideas, in your day-to-day efforts. The better you understand the intricacies that these come in with, the challenges that they're facing, um, it allows you to better understand how everything works under the hood of these projects, which then allows you to discover any issues you need to, and make meaningful contributions and give back to these projects as well. So first step is always you've got to be a good user. That's where it has to begin.
No, that's something that we talk about internally all the time at the office, because
Mhm.
this year we have the commits, which is our
Yeah,
award show honoring people who have made commits and people who are a part of that open source community. And sometimes it just starts. My whole tagline this year was just like, start with showing up, show up, be
absolutely.
active, and try your best.
Mhm.
So, like I said earlier, you've developed tons of communities of developers, of course, and the developer tools and open source projects. What do you think is the difference between a community that actually thrives and a community that just kind of like slowly fades away?
When we were talking about this in the first question, right? I mean, I love calling out swag, but one thing that I always think about, which is also common in any sustaining community, is a shared purpose, or an end goal. Um, I don't think these are end goals as much, but at least a defined goal of what all of these individuals are trying to achieve. Because the foundations of any community are laid in what these people are trying to solve for, right? We come together in these rooms and we spend together time in these calls in these chat rooms and so on, because we're trying to maybe learn something new, trying to build something together, trying to solve a very real world problem. And if there is a goal that is important enough for all of us to be together in um, these rooms will sustain, they will remain, we're going to continue working towards them. The moment these foundations disappear, where um, the community starts being based on something relatively more shallow, like swag is great to engage with people and offer as appreciation, right? um, let's say you joined a community just because they offered swag. Would you continue contributing there once you achieved, or that goal where you got that swag? Would you hang around there as much? Maybe not. um, the purpose has to matter. It has to matter to you as an individual. It has to matter to the group as a collective. And that's the only way communities really sustain over a long period.
I agree. I definitely agree. Now, if someone or a community would want to gift me, like, I don't know, a Birkin, I would stick around. Just throwing that out there in the universe. If there's a community out there that wants to gift
Mhm.
me like a Birkin or, something crazy, helicopter, private plane with gas and fuel included, you got me. You probably got me there.
Yeah, I hear
Or,
you.
free food for the rest of my life,
Mhm.
I'm there. But to your point, it's that common goal, that shared interest. Like, how do we help each other thrive? How do we help each other grow, be better, do better, etc.? To your point, it's so important because I feel like a lot of people, especially now, we just want to work towards something with other people. We don't want to do it alone, because we weren't supposed to. We were always meant to be
Mhm.
in community with each other. Um, and I think one of the things that's really bringing people both together and dividing a couple of people is AI. everyone is talking about
Absolutely.
AI. So it's one of those things where it's like, ugh, AI, or you're working, you're like, AI.
Mhm.
But everyone's talking about it. So what's one way AI, in your opinion, is making developers more effective? And what's like something you think people could kind of stop worrying about or should stop worrying about?
I think that question is a lot more loaded than you would expect it to be, and that's because we have so much noise around AI, right? Like we've got great voices as well, we've got great educators as well, but then there is so much noise surrounding it. Um, it's important to be able to sift through a lot of that. And I think that's probably the one thing I'd stop worrying about. I think there's a lot of fear mongering, a lot of panic mongering around AI about how, none of us are going to be around in tech maybe a few years down the line. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be around here. In my opinion, um, AI today has offered us some of the most effective tools um, to progress tech. They honestly make us far more efficient than we've ever been. They allow us to assimilate knowledge better than any other tool in the past, and that's only going to improve, right? Any of us who were able to, it's going to 5x, 10x our productivity. It's already doing that. We're going to see even more benefits of it down the line. But at the end of the day, these are tools that they're only powerful in the hands of someone who understands how to wield them. So I wouldn't fear um, our own place and our presence as developers in tech because of the entry of AI tools. Rather, it's a great opportunity for us to learn how better to use these and um, you know do so much more than what we've been able to do. Not just for our workplaces. I mean, of course, we're already seeing um, the implementation and the entry of these tools in our workplaces as engineers, but also I use AI tools so much for my personal work and just some of my personal projects. Like, for example, just earlier today and a few days back, I was actually working on this little web application for a writing community that I run in Bangalore, which allows different writers, such as authors, journalists, bloggers, to come together, co-work in a common place. And I was working on a little portal for that, where we're able to have profiles for all of these writers, and um, we're able to create a little reward system for them, get their work out in a simpler manner. And honestly, I've had to do nothing but write a few prompts to make that happen. And that's the kind of convenience they're going to offer a lot of people, a lot of community builders, especially going forward. So these tools are here to help us. I don't think we need to fear them. I think we need to learn how to use them better. And the more we do that, we're only going to see more gains from this going forward.
I know that's a I feel like when you work in the community, especially in the community side
Mhm.
of tech, that's something that I would 100% agree with. You know,
Yeah.
we can't be afraid of it. We have to kind of embrace it, but we
Mhm.
also have to be mindful of like we are the ones who are kind of leading that path towards like, okay, how do we
Mhm.
make this something that people in general don't fear, and know how it can help us be better. Not only, like you said, not only at work, but in life too. Trust me.
It's just to double down on that. I think we've also got to remember that a lot of the people helping progress some of these tools are doing so for the betterment of the developer community as well. Like, I had the fortune of speaking at the MCP Dev Summit that the Agentic AI Foundation organized in Bangalore earlier this month. Um, and we had folks like Angie Jones over here in Bangalore, and just to be able to meet the community, to understand the kind of work they're doing and how they're using AI, we've got to remember that a lot of these people are out here looking out for us, trying to
Mhm.
make things better for us as well. And Especially because we're community builders, a lot of us participate in different communities. um, I think it's a lot easier to be optimistic, and it's a good thing to be optimistic as well, about some of these things.
I agree. I know personally AI is helping me in, like, of course, my work, but
Hmm.
also my personal life. She's my wedding planner right now.
Ooh, very, very nice.
It's tempting to. We'll see what happens. We'll see. And it doesn't hurt having an engineer as a fiance where I'm like, "Hey, I think I broke
Perfect.
something. Can
Absolutely,
you
yes.
fix this? I tried to, use an open API." And he's like, "Oh, that's adorable." I'm like, "I'm just trying
That
to be
is
cute."
wonderful to hear. Mhm.
That being said, as we wrap up, you are speaking at RenderATL 2026. And
Yes.
you mentioned a lot of some of the other people who are speaking at the conference, who
Mhm.
you've had the honor of building community with. For developers who are trying to stand out in a crowded market, how important do you think things like community involvement, speaking, open source contributions, building in public, all of the things that you are like amazing at doing, by the way,
Thank you.
how how important are those things, and what can people look forward to hearing about in your talk, if at all of that, or anything else you'd like to add?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm absolutely stoked to be at RenderATL this year. This is going to be my first RenderATL, by the way.
Oh, is
Uh,
it really?
it's-
Oh, you're in for such a treat. Oh my goodness. I'm so
yeah,
excited for you
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's going to be wonderful. I'm quite excited already. I think when we talk about open source communities, AI tools, tech as it is, just being able to collaborate with people and developers from all around the world, people who come from different walks. What that's allowed me to do is really just widen my own horizons, and just expand my perspective of what was even possible in tech. Like I graduated from university in 2022, and what we saw in tech back when I was in school versus what we're seeing in tech today, I don't think I would have been able to imagine all of these possibilities unless I had the exposure, um, you know, from interacting with all of these fascinating people, and that's the power of communities. They allow you to understand from the experiences of others, to learn from them, to interact with them, to have an opinion in these conversations as well. So you're able to progress. Technology for all of us out there right now, and the experience of participating only allows you to better yourself, to better inform yourself, to make yourself a better communicator. In all ways, it allows you to progress into a more mature individual, which is only going to have benefits, across different parts of life, whether that's work, whether that's your personal life, whether those are your relationships. It only really helps you all across the board. Um, so I think it's always great to be able to do so. With my talk, I know we're going to be talking about a few of these things. One thing that my team at Appwrite, something that we've been experimenting with, is how we can use AI in some of our content related workflows. um, Trying to see how and explore how we can better leverage AI to build a growth mode using technical content. Um, so that's something that we're going to be talking about. I know I am quite optimistic about AI. My team is quite optimistic about AI on the whole as well. So we've been experimenting on these fronts, and I'm really excited to bring some of that, um, some of our learnings and understandings from this experience, to the end of this year.
That's exciting. I'm excited for you. The fact that this is gonna be your first render, get ready. I out my term right now is just like buckle up buttercup for everything, because it's going to be such a fun time. It's going to be one of
Mhm.
those things where you're gonna be like, I get it. I like It genuinely is where culture and code and community really do combine at such an amazing way. And maybe I'm biased, but I don't think I am.
I want to know what are your top three favorite things about Render. I want to get even more excited than I already am. So, tell me, please, what are the things that I should be looking out for at Render this year?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. So this year at Render, we have so many cool things happening. This is honestly our most technical conference we have
Ooh.
ever had. So first and foremost, we have a bunch of things happening within the conference that we've never had for. For one, we're having a go-to-market summit. So basically it is for founders and RevOps and leaders and developer marketers who are we're helping AI native teams sell to
Mhm.
developers essentially and win the bottom up motion. We have the Atlanta Tech Week AI Summit, which is a hands-on session on building and shipping and scaling real AI products. We also have the OpenJS Node Interactive Summit, which is
Ooh.
the state of Node.js and JavaScript straight from the people who are building it. So we're so excited that OpenJS Foundation has entrusted us with hosting this. We also have a legal and tech summit. So it's practical frameworks for AI ethics, governance, and risk that you can actually ship. We have RenderFest, which is our party per se on Wednesday after the conference. It's our opening night and it just got even bigger. So we have 2 Atlanta icons who are going to be taking the stage, and everyone gets access to RenderFest as long as they have a RenderATL pass. There's also the Executive Summit for individuals who are executives that's presented by Intuit. There is obviously our main conference programming with people like Kelsey Hightower and Angie Jones. We also have an expansive expo and career fair happening on our main floor as well. Tons of breakout sessions, tons of workshops, tons of side events, and I literally can't express how many amazing things that are going to be happening at the conference. And there's some stuff that we haven't even announced yet. Oh, and there's an MLH hackathon, so a Major League Hacking hackathon happening. That's an
I'm actually quite
exclusive.
excited
We're
about it.
actually launching that like tomorrow. I wasn't supposed to talk about that yet, actually.
You know,
Um,
I actually love the sound of that. I used to be an MLH coach for 2 years. So
oh, awesome.
yeah,
So
I was
yes. So
excited to be around
tomorrow,
the
for
MLH
everyone
team.
who's here, we'll be launching information about our MLH hackathon happening at the conference, as
Mhm.
well as the link that you can sign up for. Really cool things happening. So all these amazing community, they're not community organizations, but community focused businesses have
Mhm.
entrusted us to really carry it through. There's something on our website that we have not promoted yet, and I think if we can, it's time to give away a free pass to the conference. So if people who are here and are ready for um
Mhm.
a fun thing to give away,
Mhm.
if you go to our website on our homepage, there is something there that is new that we have not announced yet, but is happening at the conference. And I think if someone wants to go to our website and put in the comments what you see, we can give people a smooth minute. And I'm going to tell you, it's not like all the way down, it's like midway through probably.
Mhm.
So, like,
I'm actually going to try and look for it myself as well, although I'm not going to share it in the chat if I find it, but I'm going to keep a look.
let's see, because we haven't promoted this at
Mhm.
all, but it's a huge deal and it's there. So I don't know if someone's going to find it. Maybe you will. I don't know. And there's a private chat here if you find it, if you want to tell me if you found it, or I'll just go ahead and tell you in the private chat for just the two of us. Yeah.
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 Type at the same time.
Yeah. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if anyone else is going to get that. Let's see. Does anybody see anything? If you're in the comments, like say that you don't see something or say that you do see
I
something.
see
Again,
something in the
oh,
chat.
someone got it. Someone got it. 2 people got it. 2 people got it. And you know what? I will give both of you tickets to the conference. So you each are gonna get a complimentary ticket to RenderATL this year. So congratulations. I am going to give you. I need to give you an email. Please send us a DM on Instagram so I don't have to put my personal my email out there. Send us a DM and say Brianna told me to do this or else.
Mm-hmm.
You can add the or else. It's fine. It's just me who's going to read that. So you two are going, well, all three of you are going to be at RenderATL. And I hope that means everyone else who's here in the chat is going to be at RenderATL. RenderATL is August 12th through 13th here in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's going to be a fabulous, amazing, technically challenging, but in a good way time. And I do hope that you all are all there. But before we log off, is there anything that you want to tell the people or anything else that you want to add? And if not, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, like RenderATL has just grown into one of those massive institutions that, we've all caught on the other side of the world as well. So I'm just really, really excited to see you all there.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited to have you at Render Speaking. I know I'll personally be at your talk. I'm excited. Like I'm only going to like 4 or 5 talks because I'll be working, but I'm definitely going to be coming to your talk. That being said, everybody, I hope you had a good time with us listening in. We're going to be repurposing this content so you can find all of these gems later on. But in the meantime, make sure you go to renderatl.com and get your tickets before the prices do go up because inevitably they will. And we will chat with you guys on Thursday when we are talking to Bree Hall, and also later that day. Oh, wait, no, that's today. Today we have a workshop. So if you're coming to our workshop today, we'll see you there. We'll talk to you on Thursday with Bree Hall, and we hope to see you at the Pour Down here in Atlanta on Thursday, celebrating our new office. So until then, we will chat with you guys later, but we hope to see you at RenderATL.